he gave us a very nice live demonstration of his experiments. He had a theoretical approach with the Lagrange formalism, and he had nice sketches, so we see what he calculated. But the formulas were too fast explained, so we can't get the formulas very good, and some graphs weren't clear. Then to the experiments, he varied the type of increasing factor, that it increases just the height, or if we increase all dimensions of his dominoes. Then he didn't show us proof of his reproducibilities of his measurements, where we have the value of the dominoes, which I think is very important, and that he always had the same starting condition. Then to the parameters, he didn't vary the material of the dominoes, which I think is also very important. Then he didn't vary the ratio between the height and the width. And then to the theory, he gave us a qualitative explanation of the phenomenon. Also a quantitative explanation where he calculated the maximum factor the phenomenon should work with, where he used the Lagrange formalism for this, and he explained the energy transfer, but it wasn't very clear how it works now. And he also calculated it for different types of increasing, one time for the increasing in all dimensions and one time for the increasing just in height. But he didn't mention the sliding in his theory, and also it was too fast explained and not comprehensive at all. Then to the points of discussion. First of all, I'll discuss the reproducibility of his experimental setup, then to his theory, the proof of his theory, then to the materials. It didn't vary, as I said, the ground and the material of the dominoes. Then to some other parameters which he should vary, so the ratio between the thickness of the domino and the height. And then to the, as it says in the task, any limitations. He just calculated the limitations in the increasing in the dominoes, but I think there are also some other limitations for the chain reaction. And at the end, I'll talk about the collision time. So
thank you for your opponents. Actually, I'd like to clarify something from your slide. You talked about I haven't considered sliding. I have considered this. Yeah, actually, not theoretical, because I don't have a sliding back. So why should I consider this if I don't have a sliding back in my experiment?
Because if you vary the material of your underground, you will have the sliding and you will get other...
Yeah, actually, okay, well, you have to simplify something in your experiment. I've simplified the sliding back. Well, in physics, you have to simplify cases. So why should I vary the underground if I will just see this tilting, not a sliding backwards? So this is, I think this is not, this should not be...
Okay, that's okay. We'll start with my first point, the reproducibility of your experiments. As I asked in the questions, you have a vary of your dominoes, so the edges get rounded, I think, because of if you do the experiments several times, the edges will round, and so...
Yeah, actually, I can show you what I don't think that it changed much, because if I have a domino stone here, and the next domino stone tries to tilt this domino stone, it's here, small, very small area. Actually, if this edge is flattened, so if we have a domino stone like this, and then here, and then that, we have also a small contact.
Yeah, but if you say
so if it is round, I won't have a different contact here.
In your theories, you say you have an elastic collision. But if your edge is round, you'll also have some energy losses during the collision, which go in the energy of your...
Actually, the compressive strength of our wood dominoes is at around 56 Newton per millimeter squared. So actually, this is very high, and the force must be very strong, so that we have here something like plastic deformation. Actually, we don't have this plastic deformation.
Yeah, but why do your edges round if you don't have plastic deformation?
Well, actually, what sometimes can happen if you do experiment, it can fall on the ground. That can happen. But actually, in the collision between the dominoes, we don't have a plastic deformation.
Okay, you say you
No, I don't have plastic deformation. If you take a look at the surface of our domino stone, they're initially flat. So take a look at this surface.
Yeah, but they also have some bumps here.
What?
Some bumps. They're the marks of the edges of the dominoes here.
Well, you mean this edge is... So while this is... So this may come from the production of our dominoes, but not from the collision.
Okay, and then
may someone, you can take a look at my
then,
dominoes if you like to.
we'll
So
go
what
to
I
the
should-
next point.
So, such
in the videos we saw that you start your dominoes by hand.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah.
But you will also, if you push them by hand, you'll have a higher energy transfer than an initial velocity of the
Okay,
dominoes. Did you consider this
yeah,
in your theory?
we consider this, of course. Because we try to have a quasi-static case. Actually, we have to give him, if the energy, the total energy from the tilting, from the kinetic energy goes into tilting, it will stay at the critical angle. But actually, we need bit more than.
Yes.
And we've measured this from video analysis, this initial velocity. This was at around 0.01 rad per second, so it's very small. And actually, if you try to tilt it very slowly, this initial velocity is neglectable.
And it's also it's always constant if you put it this way.
Well, actually, if you this is at the same low range, this initial velocity from your finger if you try to tilt on it.
Okay, so it's negligible. Okay.
Yeah, of course. If you
that's
push the dominoes this way, this okay, it will fall of course fast.
Can you shortly sum up your energy transfer as you explained after the slide? It's very complicated. Just very short.
Okay, well, actually, just very short. Okay, with of course the impact. Should I draw a graphic or formula? What do you like?
Just a graphic.
Okay, one graphic. Okay, we have here an array of dominoes. Here the dominoes.
Just for two dominoes.
You have also to consider the array of dominoes because we have here also the velocity. This impacts.
Yeah, but for the starting of the chain reaction, just the first two dominoes are relevant. I don't think
actually, first they are just the first two dominoes.
Yeah.
But actually, in the next, if we have the third domino stone, these two stones have also an influence.
Yeah, but if the first dominoes don't fall, the chain reaction won't happen.
Well, actually, we have here the center of gravity.
Yes.
So this has to be lifted over the vertical. So that has to be lifted.
Yeah. So you have a short potential energy.
Yeah. Well, to lift this, so we have to increase the potential energy. Yes. And we got this energy from the kinetic energy from that stone or from the ray.
Okay.
Well, I can show you in the presentation, maybe.
No, it's okay. That's the thing I wanted. Now to the influence of the material. Do you think that will influence the maximum increasing factor if you vary the material?
No. If you keep from all domino stones the material the same, so that you have the same material, it's going to have an influence because the density is the same. So you can, you have to lift it. So it has the increase of potential energy. It's energy times the height.
Yeah.
And this depends is the volume times density. So we have here density, and on the left side we have the kinetic energy, where we also density. We can cross them out.
Yeah, but if you have a very plastic material, you will have losses because of the collision. So I think it will influence the phenomenon.
Yeah, well, actually, you're right. If you have a plastic material, this would have it. But actually, what is to do to simplify your theoretical approach? You have to have an experimental experiment where you don't have this plastic, where you don't have this plastic deformations. So you don't have energy loss. So why should I use? I mean, I can take dominoes out of honey or something.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But actually, this won't make sense because then I have to expand my theoretical model.
Okay.
So I simplify this case so that we can have this simple. So well, with the increase of ground friction, we have the same density, so that we can increase with the same factor, and also we have an elasticity in the next one.
Okay. And do you have a changing of your rotation center during your collision? Because if the dominoes get faster, do you think the center of rotation changes?
The center, what do you mean? If
the center of rotation of the domino.
The center of rotation.
Do you think it changes? If I take the domino and let it fall.
So the rotation is every time the same.
Yeah.
So we have every time the same rotation. If it's a strong impact or not a strong impact, the rotation is the same. Actually, if you have a strong initial velocity, you have a high velocity, a high rotation velocity. This one.
But the center of rotation stays the same.
Yeah, it stays the same. Actually,
that's okay.
We have here a critical case where we don't have the increase of energy. If you, the whole energy is necessary.
Let's go to the next point. I get the point. The task says you should determine any limitations to the size of the dominoes.
Yeah.
But you just determined the increasing factor of the dominoes.
Yeah, actually, as you see in the video, I've also increased just the height. So
yeah, but that's just the increasing factor. What would happen if I increase the ratio between the big thickness of the dominoes and the height?
Actually, we've done before. There's a definition of domino that you asked. We've took this definition so that the height is 4 times the thickness and 2 times the weight. And this definition we then use to scale our dominoes with the constant scaling factor.
Yeah, but maybe it will be physically interesting to describe this too.
Well, actually, if there's a definition, I use the definition and then increase it in its dimensions. And actually, I've done this. So actually, you can also, if you take a look at this three-dimensional graph, you can see you can also increase it in other options.
Yeah.
Actually, we can increase it if we increase it with this dimension.
Okay, that's okay.
We use that is the definition of dominance. This line is the definition of dominance, and we've used this from that line.
Okay, that's okay. And for your theory, do you also have an experimental proof? So for the angle over for the best angle you have, you showed us that you do you also have measurements where you showed that in the same area we have a better energy, better.
Well, actually, go to one slide back. Here we have.
Yeah, but you just have 2.0 and say there's the maximum. I don't think if you have 0 point and 0 point, you can say that you have the maximum.
Well, actually, we tried this out. You have seen this in the videos that these don't work, and actually, we then did it from our formula. Well, actually, here we have distance.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
So go on. Actually, we have. If you have seen this in front of you, these are markers for the ideal distance.
Yeah.
We have an impact of 50 degrees.
But did you prove it in the area around 50 degrees that you also have a less good?
Yeah, actually, we tried with different angles of attack at the next domino stone, and actually, the work at 50 degrees plus minus 1 because we don't scale it to the maximum factor we can, because you can't have. You have to have a little variation so that you have so that you can make the slides.
You said that theoretically you will have a maximum factor of 1.6. Am I right?
Without friction.
And with friction?
With friction, we have at around 1.52, but actually the scale is the factor of 1.5.
Yeah, but
this experiment.
Did you prove that it don't work with 1.6 and it works with 1.4, an increasing factor of 1.4 and 1.6?
Well, actually, you can try to tilt, for example, this domino stone with that.
No, just in the very small area that you vary the factor from 1.5 to 1.6. I am sure that this won't work if you take very low, small domino and very huge.
Here we can prove the fact. Actually,
yeah, but
actually we had a bigger domino stone that size, and we have also small dominoes to scale with them.
So you also measured, you also did measurements with increasing factor of 1.6 and so.
Then a block of wood, then decrease its surface, so that we can then have different factors.
Yeah, but can you show me these measurements? Because I didn't saw this in your presentation.
There is.
Hurry up. Time is nearly over.
Actually, you can see it here.
Yeah, but you don't have a proof here that that's right.
Well, actually, what you can do is it works or it doesn't.
Yes, but where's the block? It works or it doesn't work.
Actually, see, we're here, smaller dominoes, and we try to flatten the surfaces. We have a different factor of increase, and we try to decrease this factor, so decrease the size, so that it don't work. So actually, we have here different increases in this factor.
Okay. Well, I'll sum up the composition. I think you did a bit too many simplifications for your theoretical model.
Actually, I think it's okay because I have increased the ground friction and also did all the other frictions.
And also you had a bit less measurements you showed us in your presentation because I think it will be better to have them.
So what else will you do? What else will you make in it?
I'm sorry, I have to stop the discussion. It was very interesting and very alive, but now we have time for questions from the reviewer. Please.
Okay, I first have a question for the reporter. In this graph, you can see that the angular velocity reaches a point near 40 radian per sec, which I believe is a very fast rotation. Have you ever confirmed this data with the experimental data you've obtained?
Yeah, actually, if you take a look at this graph, yeah, here we are. We have here the increase in the angle, and here we have the increase in time, and there we have the plot of that. So from that, and if you derive this, you will then have velocity.
Okay, and this is a question for both the reporter and the opponent. Is the angular momentum conserved during the collision time?
I think so.
It is conserved?
Yes.
I don't think so.
And then also a question for also here is a question for both the opponent and reporter. What is the collision type between the domino?
I think it's a partial elastic collision.
Partially elastic?
Yes.
I think that is an elastic collision, and it impacts, and then we have then they are in contact with each other, and then we have the friction process.
And you think it is elastic or inelastic? Inelastic?
Elastic.
Elastic. Okay. Okay. And the last, what do you think is the function for the size limitation? What will be the variable that determines the size limitation between the domino?
I can draw it on the blackboard.
Short answers, please.
Yeah, well, actually, you have to introduce a scaling factor, and from height times scaling factor, y times scaling factor, thickness times scaling factor. Then, if you can solve this, then get your scaling factor.
I think there are relevant parameters, this ratio between the thickness and the height of this domino, also the distance between the dominoes and the factor you have, and the mass of the domino which you get over the density.
Okay, thank you.
No more questions? No, then let's start the time for preparation for review.